Welcome to Talk Purpose and Truth, shifting you into higher consciousness. A show that elevates, uplifts, and encourages listeners to grow, heal, awaken, and evolve. Eden and Kim include bold topics, interviews with inspiring guests, experts, and celebrities, intuitive readings, channeled messages, mental health awareness, and hot topics to expand your awareness. Tune in for unprecedented truth, authenticity, on-purpose discussions, and magic.
Don't follow through with their plans, what they decide to do with the resolution. So I think for me, it's more about what I want to let go of or enhance. So those are the things that I like to do more. But I think in general, it's going to be letting go of trying to make things happen, trying to control, and just more allowing myself to listen to the universe or what my guides want for me. God, just things like that. I'm not going to try to go into things with force. I think, you understand, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Just
That's
I don't want to
good.
make things happen. Just let things
Right.
happen.
And that's a good thing for everyone to understand is that you can, like, for me, I have things, of course, that I want to do, like intentions, like, oh yeah, I want to continue the podcast, and I have events going on and a mastermind going on, and I want to travel and things like that. But at the same time, you can have that list, you can have the goals, but you need to also be in a place of allowing, like, okay, well, these are intentions, but I'm going to allow things to come to pass as they're meant to, and come to fruition as they're meant to. And I'm going to let go and allow and trust in God. And that it takes practice to know that you're not in control. So you let go and let God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I don't know if you have a mantra or word of the year. I like doing that just because, I'm like you, where I'm working on tuning in to love more and energetically being in that vibration of love and light. But it helps me to have in the back of my mind, like, a word of the year, a mantra of the year. And so for me, my word of the year is alignment, because that reminds me to be aligned with divine energy, be in balance with my own body and accepting of my own body and my physical, and being in tune with my earth. So alignment helps with that. And then my mantra of the year is I have daily magical experiences, moments, and memories. And that helps me to have plans and intentions related to things that are positive and magical, and also to find the magic in things that a lot of people would label as ordinary, like, seeing a butterfly land on a flower, or looking up the cloud shapes or things like that, and really going, wow, this is actually around us. We have magic, and we get to decide what we're filling our life with every single day.
Yeah. So that's like a miracle to me, like magic and miracles. Yeah. And do you want me to say what mine is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear oracle cards that pull you your word of the year or your message of the year. I can do that really quickly.
You want to do that instead of
first, and let's see if it matches.
Okay. Well, I think trust is going to be my word of the year. I think that goes along with letting go of trying to control and force things. So it's just really trust. And then mantra, live in the truth. That's always been my mantra, but I think now I understand what that is a lot better than I used to.
What does that mean to you?
Because I think the truth before, I only wanted to hear certain things where, kind of at where my comfort level was. And now I just allow the whole truth. Even if it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, and I think being in your truth, when you do, what you act, do, and say are in alignment with who you really are, instead of pleasing others or being something you think society wants you to be.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pull you a card.
Yeah, let's see.
Your 2023. Okay. It says, healing angel. You are being bathed in gold, pink, and deep green light. Accept this healing. We surround you with wings of love, and you are eternally free, fresh, and abundant.
Wow.
So it's
Very
like a
good.
powerful card for the year, meaning that you're having abundant health, freedom, and abundance, which is like good, positive things coming in from all sides.
Mm-hmm. I'll take it.
Okay, and then I got the unknown. Do not fear the unknown. This is a time of deep exploration and transformation. Unfamiliar territory will lead to new horizons. So that's kind of good, like with what we're talking about. Like,
Mm-hmm.
really don't know. Even if we have all these plans and we have all these lists and bucket lists and things we want to do, that's great. But really, we don't know minute to minute what's going to happen. We do not have control, even though we try to think we do. And so being in that place of being excited about the unknown with trust, like what you said, Eden,
Yeah.
is very empowering. And how you, for me, how I become comfortable with it or good with it or excited about it is to constantly remind myself to be in the place of love and connecting to my heart, mind, body, and soul, and to be grounded and connected. All of that just regularly, like I can do what I just said within 10 seconds, like regularly throughout the day. And that helps me stay in the place of trust and not.
Yeah. And I think along with that, in order to trust, for me at least, this is my experience, and I think many would relate, is what was missing when I was lacking the trust and I was trying to control things was the need to be safe, need to feel safe. So in order to allow yourself to let go of the control, there is a component there where you have to feel safe in the unknown as well. In letting go of control is you're going into the unknown, you're going out of your comfort zone, and telling yourself over and over, like you do, like, I am safe even though this is scary, or I am safe even though I'm uncomfortable in this or in the unknown and I don't know what's going to happen. I am still safe and I am still okay. Reminding yourself that that's something that I had to learn how to do, and it took a long time, but you can do it. It's possible.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what else is helping me is that, no matter how much work I've done, I tend to sometimes still get in a place of like habits of ego coming up and being moody or annoyed or afraid or anything like that. And I know the different, like I'm able to usually decipher the difference of like, okay, that I don't have to honor that. Like if this like irritation or moodiness is coming up and I know it's just a weird ego thing or habitual thing, I can work on kind of throwing that away or reminding myself to reset and find the good. And it might be about a person, or your ego makes you think it's about a person. So instead, see deeply into that person's soul and find the good within them so that you don't feel the irritation or anger or whatever it might be. And then on the other side of it, sometimes if something comes up that I know I need to feel, like an emotion comes up, like just the other night, an emotion came up where I was feeling really off and I'm going, wait, what's going on? That I could tell this is an emotion rising up. Something triggered me. So I was able to stop and go in my head, what is this? And really coach myself through it, like asking myself questions like, okay, what is this? How can I be okay with this? Do I need to sort this out or feel it, and sometimes you do need to go scream into a pillow, or cry or talk to someone or journal. But I think those types of tools are helpful so that you do have an enjoyable, happy life and you have inner peace.
Oh, absolutely. I think all of these tools, for the two of us, at least, we've really started to come into the understanding more, we can say, in presently because of our things that we've been through in the last few years personally. I could look back and be grateful for, because it got us to this place where we can now do it for ourselves and be more grounded in all of that, and also aligned with our true selves, and also help other people. Like we're in that position now where we've done it for years helped people. We've worked with people, but now I think we're even more so, and in a new, like a new level, at a new level of that, having that ability to now share what we've learned. And I think we were put through this on purpose, these
Yeah,
things.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
like extreme challenges, but now when extreme challenges come up, I'm able to look at it differently
Yeah.
and, go, okay, something's going on to have this happen for my highest good. And it's a journey, and I'm supposed to gather wisdom from this. And
Mhm.
so how can I accept it and find ways to make it into something that's a learning experience or growth experience?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So another, what were you going to say? Okay. I wanted to share something that came up in a session that I did recently with a client, that really opened my eyes to probably the way that many people think. Um, so it came through her loved ones that came through, brought it up to her that she needed to do some healing work with her inner child around things that happened with her mom when she was a child. And her response to that was that she felt like she's not capable of doing any of that healing work with her mom until she passes away, until her mother passes away. And I just really thought, oh my gosh, this is probably what many people think. Um, so that's not true at all. So I wanted to kind of go over that, the reasons why it's not true. And one being that um, the healing work that, at least that I do with people that I assist with, is a lot of it is energetic. So we don't need the other person there, present physically or spiritually. We don't need them actually there in order for us to heal. So I teach people how to do the healing work with the inner child. And then they can do, there's all kinds of tools, but specifically, you could do energetic conversations with the person, imagining that they're there with you. And you get to tell them everything you've ever wanted to say to them. And then imagine that they're listening and they respond in a way that you want them to. And believe it or not, it feels like you're not really doing anything, but it does shift the energy in a big way. That's with people who are living or passed on. Um, and then there's also the belief, but I think I think all of these are limiting beliefs. I think there's the belief that people think that if my parent or loved one is passed away, I cannot heal from any past trauma with them that I've had with them. And that is also not true, because for the same reasons I just said. So we just want everyone out there to know that you can do the healing work with or without that person present. And sometimes it's easier when they're not around. If you're dealing with someone who, for example, would be a narcissist, they may not hear you. So it's about learning how to meet your own needs, giving yourself what you didn't get as a child or even now in your present life. There are ways to give yourself that, to fill those voids on your own. And it's like, it's what's considered parenting, reparenting yourself. You parent yourself. And it's like, it's self-love. That's what equals self-love. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there for everyone to know.
Right. And it's the same when people think that they can't heal something with someone who already died. It's the same thing, like where you can
Right.
still you can have energetic conversations. Sometimes you will get messages from them. And a lot of times the person who has passed away has evolved sometimes on the other side. They've evolved.
Yes.
They're looking at things from a different place.
Yeah, it's sad to say, but they learn and grow on the other side. They gain wisdom. If they have karma to clear that they didn't clear in this physical life, they bring it with them. That's my belief. That's what I've learned from doing this work. And so therefore they have another opportunity to do the work on the other side. And so they're able to come through me in a healthier place with a new perspective. And it's often, sadly, easier to heal with someone who's passed on. If if there's trauma, if there's unhealed trauma and wounding, it's often easier
Right. And
because they're healthier.
right. And there's been instances where someone comes through on the other side that has done something terrible to someone, and they are trying to apologize. And I think what happens is the person gets scared that, oh, now I'm going to have them back in my life energetically, when in reality, you could just go, okay, I'm forgive you, and now go away, move on. I don't need you in my life, but you still have that energy level of forgiveness, which is good for you and them. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yes, you are correct in that. And it's not the forgiveness. I think we've brought this up in the past, but I'm going to say it again. Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. So when you forgive, it's so that you could move forward in whatever way you choose to, and you don't have to have that person in your life physically or energetically. It's all your choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, it's such a, we've talked about this too. So just quickly, it's like a fine line, because sometimes there's so much emotion and anger and pain there that it's hard to say I forgive. And so it may just be like, I forgive, which what that means to me is I set you free and I put you way over there, away from me, and I cut all cords and ties to you, but I let it go. Like it could be more like that.
Well, and in addition, they set themselves free.
Right.
Right. Because then that person no longer has power over how you feel.
Right. Yeah. Because if we're constantly going, I'm angry at them, I have pain about them, I'm sad because of what happened related to them, then we're tied to them. They have energy over our lives, instead of going, you know what, I'm going to cut cords and set you free and me free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very healthy practice.
Right. So anyway, well, as for us, with what's been going on, I just got back from Hawaii, and I was just telling Eden that my dog Larry, who's really funny little dog, we have a pet sitter that's unique that watches him. And I picked him up, and we had to have the goldfish babysat by her too, because we have no one to watch the goldfish, which was interesting, trying to get the fish bowl over to the dog sitter's house. And
wait, I want to say one thing about the goldfish. Because you mentioned that to me yesterday, and I brought it up to Taylor, and she said, which I didn't remember until she said it, we had goldfish, or we had some kind of fish in the past. Both the girls had fish. And I don't remember how they found out, but they are allowed to, or they can go without food for as long as you were in Hawaii. So you could have let it go without the feedings, without a babysitter. That's what I've heard.
That would be kind of scary, because that's like, it was 8 days.
I know, but that she reminded me.
Oh, that's fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to risk it, but
I wouldn't either. But
our fish, they're fine. So, but it was interesting trying to get the bowl and them to back and forth to our house. But anyways, my dog tends to, when he gets annoyed, like a lot of dogs, about being moved or his schedule changed, he will pee. And so I asked the dog sitter, hey, how was he? Did he pee? And she said, I just was cracking up, because she said that she was watching 4 other boy dogs. So what happened is she had to put diapers on all 5 dogs, because marking their territory with each other so often, her house would have been filled with pee. So she had diapers on all 5 dogs, which I wish I had a picture of that, because I was just cracking. I maybe that's mean, but I was cracking up at the idea of my dog having it.
Yes. And my response to you on that was, I felt sorry for Larry, because I thought it would make him regress.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's a trainer too. So he actually usually comes back better behaved for a while.
Oh.
So he's been really good and fine.
Yeah.
And she does like dog training on him or something. But sometimes he's mad at us, but he hasn't acted mad at us this time.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
As for Hawaii, it was interesting, because I think because I'm more evolved and I've done so much work on myself, and it impacts how I see the world
Mhm.
better. I enjoyed the trip even more. And this was my 5th time going, but I hadn't gone in a long time. And we went to Maui and we did really unique things. Like Edwin drove the whole road to Hana and,
Crazy.
which was very crazy. Like I felt like we were in Indiana Jones movie or Romancing the Stone or something, or that movie that just came out with, I was saying we were in the movie with Brad Pitt, Sandra Bullock, and that one that came out that was in the jungle. I can't think what it was.
Yeah. I don't
But
know.
anyway, but we did that and we saw, we did this crazy rainforest hike. But what was unique about it, besides seeing so much wildlife, and there was roosters everywhere. I don't remember with Hawaii before, but I guess I just forgot. But it was just so funny how many roosters were everywhere crowing. And so one night I had texted Eden throughout because, we tend to get signs or messages from Prince. And I'm in this art gallery and it was a nature art gallery and everything was nature, like beautiful, like $5,000 paintings with nature. And all of a sudden, out of all these nature paintings, probably like 200, there was suddenly 2 Prince paintings. And I'm like, really? Like out of nowhere, like there was not rock and roll paintings. And then the guy happened to see that I had a Prince tattoo. So he was like trying to convince me to buy a Prince painting for $5,000. And I'm going, oh my God. Yeah. So that was one thing. And there was a few other interesting signs. Like one of our guests, Elisa Fiorillo, was one of Prince's singers. And she was also a singer in the 80s. And I was in this shop that had jewelry and Hawaiian art, nothing at all related to records. And all of a sudden in the back, there was a little box of records and Elisa's record was right there for sale.
That's
and
so
I
funny.
Really interesting randomly in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And finally, when we were doing the rainforest hike in Hana and where, I'm going through the mud, it was the hardest hike I've ever done. And even harder than when Eden and I went out past. It was insane. And I ended up by myself. My parents were behind us and my kids and husband were way ahead of me. And somehow I ended up by myself for a while. And I just
because you always walk ahead of everyone.
No, but I was in the middle.
Oh, you were in the middle this time. Okay.
I waiting for my dad because he has to have hip surgery. So he was walking a lot slower. Mm-hmm. And then I just gave up waiting for him because my mom was with him. So I'm in this meditative place of like, all this bamboo is around me. I'm walking in the mud with flip-flops, mind you. I'm crazy.
I know. I saw that in the picture. I couldn't believe you.
I'm barefoot, but then I was scared there would be a weird bug. But I was in this meditative place of just like, wow, I'm, connected to earth and this is all oneness. And the second I thought that, I looked down at my feet and there was a guitar pick with painting of Maui on the guitar pick. And the day before that, we had been talking about how Prince, my husband's like, Prince is such an underrated guitar player. He was so profound. And we had found this video of him doing guitar and, his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame performance. Like the founder of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame says that that's the best performance they've ever had of all years when he played the Beatles song with Tom Petty. With My Guitar Gently Weeps, that's what it was. But anyways, I found this guitar pick and it was just so symbolic. I have it in my wallet now. I'm just going to keep it there. Always remind me like an anchor to remind me of the energy there. And so I just felt like that's such a great way I got to end the year and begin the new year in Hawaii. So that was exciting.
Yeah. With all those little signs for you. I mean, that guitar pick. That's like really, really random.
Right. Oh, and I saw, what was so random too, is it was totally a rainforest, like you see in the movies. I mean, bamboo up to the sky, waterfalls, sacred pools. And all of a sudden we hear moo.
I saw the picture.
And in the midst of all these like jungle plants and trees, there was a cow.
Yeah.
And it was so weird. Like you're going to see like wild birds, iguanas, and all of a sudden there's a cow. So
not very tropical.
Yeah. So that was really cool too. So I feel like that's one place I am not going to move there because I love Huntington Beach, but I could live in Maui for sure. It was just unbelievable there.
Get a house there.
Yeah. The place we stayed at was beautiful, overlooking the ocean. And we looked it up just curious. it goes for 2.8 million to buy it. So yeah,
Oh,
let's see when I make it extra big, I'll just throw down 3 mil to get that.
okay. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, anything can happen. But yeah, I think I'm more someone who, I don't know if I'd want a house somewhere else, because I like to travel like a variety of places. I don't want to be tied down to feeling like, oh, we have to use our house twice a year instead of going to like a new place.
No, because you could then have other people go there, rent it
Yeah.
out. But when it comes to me, I'll just go stay for free.
Yeah, true. Okay. I'll do
Let's put that out into the universe.
That's funny. So as for us, we are going to see Tyler Henry, who's a medium,
Mhm.
in next weekend. And so we'll update you on our next episode on how that went. But I feel like what's meaningful about seeing him, besides he's awesome and I loved his documentary on Netflix, and he does readings differently than Eden. And I feel like Eden, you do yours more detailed than him, but
Yeah.
he has this energy about him, and he does readings in a unique way that I just really like him.
Mhm.
And the way it was so interesting, because I was watching him 7 years ago, and that made me connect with Eden, because I was like, well, I want a reading, so I'm going to call
Oh,
Eden.
I'm the next best thing.
Yeah, well, I did that a long time ago, but Eden and I knew each other from high school, and then we had connected a few different times through the years over other stuff. And so I hadn't connected with her in a long time. And all of a sudden I was like, I want a reading. I feel like I want one because I've been watching the show. So that's how we connected. It's almost been exactly 7 years ago.
I don't know if I knew that part of the story.
Yeah. So he was the catalyst to connect us. So that's why it's full circle. Like,
Yeah.
that we're going to see him now.
Yeah. Well, I hope he reads us.
I know. Right? Like, there's something to it, because it did go full circle. So we'll keep you guys posted on
what happens.
On what happened with that.
Thank you for listening to Talk Purpose and Truth podcast. Find out more at talkpurposeandtruth.com. And follow us at Talk Purpose Truth on Instagram and Facebook.